oh, everything's good. Just, you know, don't look at the derby cover. Don't look at the gas tank. Don't look at the swing arm bag. Don't look at the shifter levers. Don't look at the floorboard. Don't look at the front fender. Don't look at the headlight trim. Like, don't look at a bunch of stuff. Otherwise, everything's good. Well, last time I ran out of daylight, but still got to go for a short ride. And I'm very, very comfortable, confident in what caused the wobble that then led to the accident. Right, so I'm very confident now that between this bolt being broken and the bearings being super notchy, that was causing all sorts of wonky stuff. Also very confident now to start using this thing just in time for winter. But I got to get all the safety stuff on, so that'll be today's mission. Yeah, I don't remember how this thing goes together, but that's fine. That's fine. It'll work. It'll definitely do what I need it to do, what I want it to do, I should say, which is to be that winter ride, that not just commuter, because it's more than just commuting. This thing is just, I don't know. It's just fun in the winter. Maybe it's because, you know, you don't have to worry as much about heat, right? Because you've got much cooler air running over the engine. Evos run cool anyway, but it's like if you want to sit in traffic, not that I do, but if you want to sit in traffic, you can. You just got less to worry about. And this thing, just the low speed stuff, the maneuverability, for me, it's like I said, it's the perfect bike for the winter. That looks like it lines up. I hope this one goes on first. I guess it's got to go on. Well, no, even if it didn't go on first, I could always pull. No, it's got to go on first. Well, you know what? Let's find out. Yeah, even if it doesn't go on first, I could make it work, right? Because worst case scenario, I just pull on it and slide the other one underneath. But that doesn't make sense to me. It's got to go on. These got to go on first, and the other one has to go on. And that's how I'm putting it together. Right or wrong, that's how I'm going to put it together. One of the things that I want to do that I think will be cool is actually drill this for a rocker switch. I got that thinking about the Tour Glide, right? That if I drill this for a rocker switch and then run the headlight wire to it, I can switch in between the daytime running light ring and the headlight. And then obviously high beams are up here. I think that would be cool. But I want to replace the whole headlight eventually because the housing got a little banged up. I just don't have it right now, and it's not banged up enough that it won't work for my purposes. So it's going to stay for now, and we go from there. So this should go on first, but it'll slot underneath. That seems to be how it fits, I think. Well, that's how it's going to fit. Yeah, I think that fits the way it should. I don't know, the bars will come on and crush it down. I don't know. Because now this is like kicked up. But this is, you know what? Oh, oh, there we go. That'll do it. That'll do. I like it. I hate it when something that should go smoothly doesn't. So it's like the one thing I didn't change, which is these. I don't know what's wrong. But what I can tell you is I had to elongate the holes to get it to work. Why? That's beyond me. But once the holes are elongated, the bolts went in. It's the easy stuff. bites you in the ass. Also, it's funny. So a lot of stuff on this bike was not necessarily put together right. But every connection they made was soldered, and it seems like there's a lot of connections here. Maybe that's why. But I feel kind of bad because I know I'm going to replace all this, so I'm just butt connecting right next to where it was soldered. So somebody's probably going to lose their mind. I know butt connectors, but again, you know, we're talking temporary stuff. So, and I say temporary, and I know what everyone's thinking. I know what I'm thinking. You know, my personal experiences. I'm pretty sure I mean temporary this time. You know, but you never know. I mean, it's gonna work. Look, it's gonna work just fine. I'm pretty confident in that. And I'm also pretty confident in my temporary. You know, yeah, I have to be confident in temporary, right? Because I am gonna take and put different tins on it. So doing the tins, doing the tins, I got to take this all apart. I want to fix the wiring. So yeah, pretty sure this is not a temporary permanent situation. It's a temporary situation. Okay, turn signals. I like these little turn signals. I wish I knew who made them, because I found similar stuff that looks similar, I should say, but nothing exact. So if anyone watching this knows where to get these turn signals, or who makes them, who made them, I don't know if they're still available, but I like them. You know, they have a cool look. I wish they were LED. Probably the only thing that I don't care for about them, but I think they look cool. I think they go with the, you know, Terminator era of the motorcycle. Simplest jobs. Match up the wiring, install them in the proper location. Can't seem to do that one right. At least I didn't tighten anything here. But today seems like this is going to be the day of simple jobs screwing you over. Which is not fun. Shouldn't be that way. This should be those last few moments, right? Where you're just getting stuff done, getting it ready, final little details. Well, they say, right, the devil's in the details. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to find an excuse for not blaming myself for checking ahead of time. It could have been that. That would have been simple. God forbid I did something simple. Let's see. I think one more turn. Yeah, those look about right. This looks about bent, but that's why I said if anyone could tell me who made these turn signals, or even the screws, that setup, that was pretty cool. Actually, maybe they're both a little bent. I think they'll work fine because they're going to operate as they should. And nobody's going to notice if they're a little tweaked. If I'm right, this one will light up, which it does, and it'll blink when I hit the left turn signal. All right. Sometimes things work out. Kind of narrows down the other wiring. So this one's right, that one should be right. We'll find out. One last check. Okay, they both work. Right turn signal. And left turn signal. All right. Simple issues, little successes, little wins. I'll take it. Now, to get to this headlight wiring and use more butt connectors. I know, I'll tape them up, and again, temporary. Promise-ish. I think I remember probably why I left this like this instead of like actually just cutting, soldering the wires, whatever. I think I did that because in the event that I had a problem with the light, I felt that I could swap it out. I mean, that kind of makes sense, at least in my head. But I'm gonna go with it as an excuse. How about that one? For why I may have done it that way. Let's see. Come on, screw in. Look pretty. It does look pretty. Okay. This took a little bit of a shot. Well, not this, but the trim ring. I'm gonna venture to guess that it probably needs to be adjusted, lined, whatever. We'll see. But I just like the way it looks. Again, you know, looks are subjective. And I also know that this isn't exactly the cheapest option to do an LED headlight. But I do think they look really cool. You know, I have to give Harley credit for design, and at least in the past. Say what you will about the motor company right now and everything that's been ongoing with them. But they've come up with some pretty cool designs. And being that this was, you know, the Terminator 2 bike, the bike that Arnold rode, and well, there I go screwing that up. How'd I do that? Did not think that this had a single position that it went in. So, my mistake. But yeah, you know, being as this was Arnold's bike, right? More or less, not this particular one, not this particular design. Okay, there it goes. Huh. That's something I did not know. Anyway, so the kind of eyes that it has, you know, like the robotic sort of look, to me, it just suits the character of this bike. I don't know if any of you guys give bikes names, but for me, this is Sara. I like female names. Shantae does not. Her rebel is Haku, which I will let her describe one day. That is, I believe, the only male bike we have. Otherwise, it's, generally speaking, Italian actresses. But you can't name 96, you know, early FatBoy after an Italian actress. Sarah Connor is really the only thing that makes sense to me. So this is what took the shot in the accident. So I don't know how out of whack the headlight will be. This will be replaced, but for the moment, this will be perfect. Right back, you know, right back to that look, right? That futuristic, robotic, but from the 80s, you know. So, like, what you envisioned robots would be if you were in the mid-80s. And I think this headlight, even more so with the visor, you know, gives it that look. Although I did learn something, I think I learned something about this visor. I don't know if it's 100% true, but I'm told that the origins of it are extremely old. They go back to the war. So I don't know if it's true. If it is, please let me know, or don't let me know. Well, not don't let me know. Let me know if I'm wrong. That makes more sense. But I'm told these things came from World War II, and they were meant to shield your headlight so that planes above couldn't pinpoint exactly where you were and couldn't really fire upon you. If that's true, cool story. GIs came back to the US. They were riding Harleys. They kept some of the stuff that they saw in the war. And that's just kind of cool, if it's true. One of the reasons I believe that story to have some truth to it is because my parents, they grew up in World War II Europe, right? So they were in Italy at the time, and they've told me stories of planes coming around looking for lights in the houses, and you had to, you know, pull the shades and turn off lights so as to avoid being bombed. And so that lines up just right with, you know, what I've been told about that shield. So, you know, I hope it's true, because it's a really cool, like, origin story for why that cover, that whatever you want to call it, why that exists. Yeah. All right, let's check this light. All right, there's your low beam and high beam. Low beam, high beam. Cool. That's wired right. Temporarily. Brand new mirrors. Well, this was brand new, but literally the first ride that I took after popping this mirror on was August 11th. It was the day I crashed. But it'll do for now. I'll get a new mirror for it. Another new mirror for it. You know, honestly, if it wasn't chipped, if the glass wasn't chipped, I probably would leave it. But try to do things right most of the time, sort of. Listen, can't have everything, right? She's gonna need a bath, but she's coming along good. Console next. Straighten out the license plate bracket. Try to stay legal. Oh, coffee's gone cold. Need to re-up. Brakes have bled. Still chasing the sun. It's amazing how fast the sun moves in the fall and winter. I mean, it feels like it was over there just a minute ago, and here we are. It's coming around to light up back here for the second time in the day, and that's never a good thing because it just moves so quick. But brakes are bled, everything's together. Really want to take this thing to work in the morning, so let's see. I think I'm done. I think everything's aligned up. What are we gonna do? Take it for a ride and go get gas and just verify that everything's good. Well, good-ish. Don't look at the tints. But otherwise, everything's good. I think it's funny. I'm like, oh, everything's good. Just, you know, don't look at the derby cover. Don't look at the gas tank. Don't look at the swing arm bag. Don't look at the shifter levers. Don't look at the floorboard. Don't look at the front fender. Don't look at the headlight trim. Like, don't look at a bunch of stuff. Otherwise, everything's good. But everything is good. The stuff that matters is good. You know? I mean, mechanically, it's running good. The lights are good. There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to take this thing to work in the morning. I don't think so. Oh, one last thing. That's I think gonna be my thing for the next maybe few minutes, is making sure I don't miss anything. So I gotta attach this one part of the brake line. Then I think that's it. I think that might just be it. This don't look right. And it didn't look right because, oh, maybe not. Maybe it's just worn out. Because it's not turning the mileage. Again, not important. Why am I worrying about that? Get the important stuff done. So the brakes feel good. Everything seems to be adjusted properly. Throttle cables, clutch cable. Front end feels all right. Yeah, I think she's ready to commute. I think she's ready to commute. I know a lot of times I end videos going to the gas station, going home, and I am going to the gas station. But I think if all goes smoothly, I think I'll end this video with part of my commute coming home tomorrow. In the morning it's too dark and it's a little hectic, but if this transitions into me commuting home tomorrow, then the first trip, the first commute back has been a success. And also you can see why I love riding this thing, why I love commuting on this thing. So I think that's the plan. Also, for some reason the neutral light stopped working, but I may have knocked the bulb out. I'll check that when I get back. I know where neutral is. I'm not too concerned. But I like the way she feels. Definitely feels good. Feels like home. Trades. But yeah, it feels like home, which is nice, you know. Suspension is still squeaky in the back, but it's solid. It's just needs some lubrication. We'll get to that, you know, especially since all of this thing has to come apart anyway. But it'll do for now. You can hear it when I jump on it. But at one point the suspension didn't even move. So squeaky suspension is better than a non-functioning suspension in my book, I think. I don't know. Maybe one of you can tell me that I'm wrong. Yeah, that'll be the plan. Fingers crossed that the next transition is going to be me on the BQE. And if it is, then you know that everything so far has been a success. All right, and with that, I deem this a success. She rode good, no issues. I actually think better than just no issues. Suspension feels a lot better than it used to, so I'm guessing the forks were probably a little worn. You know, I don't quite know all the history on this bike, but no, the suspension definitely much improved. Just ride quality, you know, how it felt in turns, dealing with bumps. Now, there's still the rear suspension to address, but that'll come in time, along with the tins, everything else. But I think this was a successful project. I'm very, very content with it, and I'm so happy to be riding it again. You know, like I said, this thing just feels like home. And on the BQE of all places, this is where I love this bike, you know. And also why I ride motorcycles, you know, every chance I get. But yeah, I don't really have too much more to say. You know, I'm gonna just continue on, concentrate on what I'm doing here, and I guess finish this video with a commute. Well, as the weather gets colder, my projects begin to move indoors, inside the garage. You know, I'll keep at it, keep chatting away, rambling on. What a gorgeous day it's turned into. It was like 42 this morning. Not that I'm complaining, because I know it's going to get colder, but it is just beautiful. City and the BQE and the lovely smell of weed from, it seems like, almost every car on the highway, which to me seems like it shouldn't be allowed, but what do I know? You know, I think until they come up with a way to do like field sobriety tests, maybe they have them, I don't know. But until they come up with a way to do field sobriety tests, maybe you shouldn't be driving, you know, with a spliff going. I don't know. I know I get criticized for my riding, but I mean, you look around at what some of the people do. If you don't ride this sort of offensive, they're just going to run you off the road. You know, although sometimes, like in my opinion right here, you're actually kind of better off to be off the road. I find this, if you take it nice and easy, I find this to be safer than sitting there trying to split lanes. That's my opinion. A lot of people disagree, but yeah, I don't ride a motorcycle in New York City to sit in traffic. I've said that before. I'll stick to it. That's my belief. Here we go. Entrance ramp. And a little bit more shoulder. Now the shoulder around here, it's dirty, but it's not as bad as you would think because, well, so many cars do it that you always got to be on the lookout for state police and NYPD. But there's been a whole lot more state police presence last several years, I guess. Used to never be state police in New York City, or very limited, I should say. I shouldn't say never. It's very limited. But ever since what was it? Cuomo had that kind of beef with de Blasio. Ever since then, you've been seeing more and more state police. I think we've gotten far enough ahead now. I try to be respectful. I'm not going to do this stuff in front of them. But I'm also not going to not do this stuff. So, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. But I'm not going to sit in this. I'm just not. Before I was rudely interrupted, one of the reasons that the shoulders aren't bad on the BQE is because of the amount of people in cars that drive it. And I get it. I mean, I'm doing it on a motorcycle. And there's a Porsche ahead of me that's doing it. So they tend to keep the shoulders somewhat clean. You know, you're still taking a chance, but I think it's worth it. As long as you go easy. And I get it. People will disagree with me. So you do you, I'll do me. Ride your ride, right? Last little cut over. Gotta love this city. Come on, move over. I saw there was a Harley up here. I was kind of trying to catch him, but I've lost him. Oh, there he is. He's lane split. See, again, I'm going to say that's more dangerous. I think this is safer. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Neither one is the safest. Staying in your lane, staying in traffic, probably number one safest. But if you're going to do one or the other, I just think that this is safer. You know, you take it easy. You go your own speed. You always be aware of people that want to come into your lane, or you know, anything potential that might happen. But yeah, I'm gonna go with this is safer. He disagrees. I'll give him credit. He's doing it with bags on. Not that I haven't done that, but it does make things a little bit trickier. Oh, crash just past Hamilton Avenue. That's right here. Well, I thought I was gonna end this before, but you know, then I found some other stuff I wanted to talk about. But I will end it today at this point. So I'm just going to keep moseying on. So, yep, I'll say again, overall, successful install, successfully back on the road. Very, 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 very happy to be back at home on the FatBoy, on Sara. This is oof. Do they need to do all that for a minor accident? I don't think so. But hey, what do I know? I could be wrong. I'm just trying to get home. All right. Well, I will leave you with that as I continue on the BQE towards the Verrazzano. Yeah. Everybody, enjoy your day. Thanks for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for all the advice. It's greatly appreciated. And until the next time, when I'm probably tearing the Tour Glide apart or getting into the valve check on the Tuono V4 or the Panigale V4 or whatever the hell else I'm doing. Until then, have a great day. Ride safe. And I will see you then.